Hey, Mr. Howard here with a little bit more education motivation. And I said in my last video about this topic that, you're home on quarantine and you're like a homeschooled kid and you can study whatever it is you want to study, learn whatever it is you want to learn. Well, I mean, that's absolutely true. And I just want to reinforce that with just, a couple of things that I've been doing. I've been grading papers and creating content and doing this whole YouTube channel thing, and a lot of that's new to me, and I've enjoyed it. But I've been working on revising my novel and getting ready to publish another novel and doing a lot of writing stuff that I've enjoyed. I've also played a lot of games with my kids. But one of the things that I've really spent a lot of time with, that's brought me together with my kids and helped me out, is I made a board game. If you listen to me in class, you know that I enjoy making board games, and that's something that I've been working on for a long time. Well, this game here, which you can sort of see on the table, is called the Goblin Mountain adventure game. Now there's a lot of education involved, and I didn't realize my son had pieces on the board. There's a lot of education involved with it. This is the board that we made. You can sort of get a sense of it here. You see the window reflected on it, which isn't the greatest. But it's a hexagonal pattern. There's geometry involved because we had to figure out how to make the hexes, how to make them the right size to fill up the board, to make it the space that it needed to have. Then there was a lot of math involved as well. We had to make up a combat system, how to work the combat, how to make it balanced, how to do a spell system and keep those spell systems balanced, how to level up the characters. It's sort of a Dungeons and Dragons-y light role-playing sort of game. We had to make a bunch of cards and figure out, how to balance the cards for the levels and what difficulty the characters were on. So there were a lot of sort of creative, artistic elements of making the game. There was a lot of problem solving too. We had to make pieces, and so there's character pieces and monster pieces, and we had to find out a way to make, like hundreds of these, well, maybe not hundreds, but certainly about 100 of these little guys, characters and monsters. How do you do that on a budget? I'm a teacher. And so we had to find ways to do that. Now you can see that there's art involved. We had to draw these by hand. They're Shrinky Dink, because Shrinky Dink's cheap, and you can do a lot of work with it. And we needed to come up with stands for the Shrinky Dink characters. We used buttons. You can see that there. So, there was a lot of problem solving. There were a lot of skills involved. And then there was the writing. Hello, cat. Thanks for jumping on my coffee. There was the writing. You have to make rules for games like this. And got a whole bunch of rule books. So you got a quest book and a rule book and, sort of a monsters compendium. And so you end up with a lot of writing that goes with it too, and that's got to be grammatically correct. And so, this is something that I did for fun, but it's something that is academic in a lot of ways. It involves some research, it involves some creativity, it involves some art, it involves some math, it involves some geometry, and to some extent it involves history. You've got to come up with sort of like a background, a believable background story for your world, and there's a little bit of world building and all of that kind of stuff in there. And so, I guess the whole point of this quick little video is rethink education. I mean, I know you're at home and your teachers are going to be sending you some stuff that you can do, but there's lots of educational things that you can indulge in. You want to write a novel? Write a novel. You want to write that piano piece and play it? Go ahead and write that piano piece and play it. Draw a picture. Make a series of artistic endeavors. Create a board game. It really doesn't matter, but you can find the education in a lot of things. And thank you, cat. This cat, his name is Crosby. You want to say hi, Cros? And he's needy. Anyway, I did not expect him to come jump on my lap in the middle of this broadcast. Anyway, I guess my point is you can find education in a lot of things if you look for it, and that you know, now you've got this opportunity to be nerdy, to indulge in sort of the geeky, nerdy, in-depth studies that you've always wanted to do, but you never maybe did before. School has a lot of really, really positive effects, but one of the negative effects is peer pressure. You get to this point where you're afraid to do the things that you love because you don't want to be judged for the things that you love. And so to some extent, maybe you hide them or you don't indulge in them. Well, now you've got the time to indulge in all of those things. And I would suggest changing your viewpoint and doing those things, making the music, making the art, making the games, studying whatever it is you want to study. Because this is an opportunity and I think you should take it. And you don't have to worry about how other people feel or what other people think or any of that. It's just you. And so many of the great things in our world come from the passion that people have for the things that they do for fun or for their own edification rather than for anybody else's benefit. And we can relearn that. We can get out of the social judgment mold that so often happens within the public school system and be creative and interested and interesting and inspired in other ways. Now, like I said, there's so many wonderful things about school, and we all want to go back. You know, I'm a public school teacher. I believe in the mission of public education. I can't wait to have you all back in my classroom and to be teaching all of that material again. But we've got to find the silver lining in the times that we have. And I really think this is a silver lining. And I just thought, you know, maybe showing you this game and some of the things that I've been doing would give you maybe inspiration or permission. You don't need permission, but you have my permission to indulge in the things that you want to indulge in. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope your quarantines aren't driving you crazy. I'm so lucky. I get to live in a house with people that I don't only love, but also like. And so, you know, my kids and I have been playing a lot of games, been doing a lot of yard work, been watching some TV with my wife and having lots of good, deep conversations. So hopefully things are going well with you too, and that you're making it through this. I'm rambling now, so I'm going to shut this thing down. Have a good one, everybody.